Yes, indeed. Well, welcome back to the studio of KFM TV. Today, a very, very interesting conversation we'll be having. And I have with me here one of the responsible and respectable young gentlemen who I kind of admire a lot. He doesn't know, but today he's going to know everything. Myself, my family, everybody always talk about him. So we have the popular name we know is Buzstopboyz. Buzstopboyz. And one of the things I like about this gentleman when I started speaking to him is that he has never used himself for once. He always used the group. Like, I kind of trying to understand the notion or the idea behind all this. So he's here to answer a lot of questions and also educate us and also tell us the reason why this initiative. So let's welcome my guest for today, Buzstopboyz.
What's it?
Everything fine.
Yeah, everything nice.
I love the branding anyway. Buzstopboyz. Let me first of all start this way. I was thinking I'll say somebody very giant as the leader, somebody very supreme as the. But it's not about the body; it's about the brain, right? Now let's take it from this angle. Who are you?
Well, I'm Kuju.
Okay, so could you tell us something? I mean, give us some brief, autobiography about yourself.
Well, I'm Kuju. I completed SHS from Koko Senior High School.
Okay.
I came to Legon and I completed Legon in 2016.
Okay.
And I've been finding myself in life. So I believe I have to be on myself. I have to be on my own.
Great.
So that whatever I seek to pursue in life. So I've basically been pursuing myself.
Great.
In life.
Great.
That's just something like
I wanted to remind you of something at Legon campus, but whilst you brought in that, you were on campus when Siada was the SRC president, the first female president, right? Sedem.
Yeah.
Great. That was when Edem Agbana left, if I could be right.
I remember Agbana.
Good. I haven't chanced on you on campus. Well, I also completed the same year anyway. So so you can imagine how old I am, right? But let's take it from the beginning. So when you were in senior high, before you moved to, or in your life, in your entire life, are you that person who loved hygiene?
Well, I think I was born into hygiene because my mom is that person. As soon as you see her with her bucket entering the bathroom, wherever you are, you must start sweeping.
Okay.
Because the minute she comes back, remove her slippers and step on the ground,
Sand,
and there is a sand. Oh, I like the whole house, everybody is dead. So basically, that's how. So, and well, aside from that, too, personally, I believe that I don't need to impress anybody, but every corner that I find myself, I need to keep it clean so that I can breathe in correct oxygen.
I love that. The reason why I'm asking all this question is that I want to reflect you being the headliner or the leader for Buzstopboyz, which basically cleaning the city, cleaning our surrounding, is what I want to know where this idea started from you.
Well, I would say it started from within. Everything in this life that we are seeing started with a thought. So I always believe that I need to nurture a kind of thought that its manifestation will give me the result that I'm looking out for. So as I sit here, there's nobody richer than me. I don't have the physical money, but in my head, where I rule, in my head I rule this body. So everything that will make me has to be bigger. So in my head, I'm richer than Donald Trump and even Elon Musk. I don't have the physical money, but
I see that.
I need to hold that thought.
Great.
So that's how it started. And I also have somebody who is keenly interested in the history of Africa, far beyond slavery. I'm trying to dig to understand who we were before we became slaves along the line. And I could clearly see that before we could even talk about education, we did it first. So the first ever school that ever stepped foot on this planet was in ancient of days called Timbuktu. Presently it's called Mali. So it all began with Africans, and today, fast forward, it looks like we are losing grade of like what we have done in the past, and therefore now it's easier for somebody to say the beginning of the head, and it's clearly because we are not beginning to find out who the beginning we are talking about is. If you begin to understand that the planet itself started with beginning, and there's no way to end without beginning, then we begin to understand that there has been some rough road along the line, but it doesn't mean we should forget entirely who the beginning is. So Yeah, basically that, and you can also see that there is no way you can get to God when you live in a dirty environment. So for the same reason you put sugar here and ants will be quickly attracted. For that same reason you put something that smells around and you see house flies. So it's just two energies that is basically ruling this planet. Clean attracts clean spirit, dirty attracts dirty spirit. And we can link dirty spirits like malaria, cholera, everything that will end you up in the hospital are things that death attracts. So to be able to, raise a lot of awakening, let me put it that way, to awaken a lot of people consciously to begin to realize that malaria is not coming because it's coming because of something we are not doing right. So if malaria is a problem really, then we need to look at the root cause of the problem and then deal with it.
Wow, interesting. So this is the whole formation, and then you have gotten something free today, which of course you would have paid huge amount of money and go and learn. What else here? Your mentality is kind of top notch. Which course did you read when you invested?
Well, I read something called CYP. It was actually Youth in Development Work. That was basically has to do. It was actually a 2 year course that was partly Commonwealth and partly University of Ghana. Okay. It wasn't anything with it. It wasn't the philosophy song. Wasn't the.
But let me ask you. So you went all the way to school to acquire certain knowledge with certain professors, and then you end up cleaning around, which of course you started explaining. Somebody will look at you, or I mean, from the beginning, people will still talk about it, and they'll feel like, about the like, I don't say, what do you do, man? Abrante come and say, who be school, who cleaning. Meanwhile, what you are even doing, there's no earning in it. You don't get salary or you don't get paid at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, it's because everything will die in the end, but the memories will live forever. And that is why, as it stands now, I always talk about the Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He's no longer here, but the memories, the legacies he left behind is what I'm talking about. So one day I won't be here, but whatever impact or whatever, if we connect, the memories I live with you lives forever. So when we begin to understand success, not material gain, but the imprint and the things that we live in the lives of others, then we are coming back to what it means to be an African, because that's who we are. We don't necessarily grab everything as our personal possession, but we spread it out for everybody to feel love. That is why you can see in our history, our ancestors back in the days, they can just throw a stone, and there is a from this point to where the stone lands, take that land, live, and then have your life, live around. Not because they were stupid like we have been made to believe. It's because they understood that the purpose of life is making an impact in the lives of others. So they did so wholeheartedly without thinking about the other side. So it's understanding from that perspective to also understand that education is not necessarily the ability to define science as the method of or whatever. By education is simply your ability to make something out of nothingness. Because like we all know, the universe itself came out of nothingness. So that is education. Unfortunately, we have been made to believe that I need to have masters, PhD, MPhil, all of that, and then I'm educated. But the carpenter out there who is creating stuffing chairs or tables from the wood is the big educator that we need to pay attention to.
I think the name I have to give this man on my show is Efo Kafukafu, Buzstopboyz, the educator. I don't know, but I think looking at you, I feel your knowledge is beyond your body, and that's how I feel. I mean, knowledge,
maybe because God saw that I'm tiny, so he needed to give me a brain that will not make me struggle too much in life.
So, Efo Kafukafu, aka Buzstopboyz, is my guest in the studio, and we're trying to get to know the euphoria or the idea that came up for them to become who they are today. And we'll talk about interesting things that you've done. But let me ask you, when you started this initiative, did you start it alone? How were you able to convince people to follow you? Did you speak to them? What did you do? Whom did you start this journey with? I saw one of your interview that you made mention of starting cleaning around with your wife, if I could be right. How does that happen? Can you tell us about that?
Okay, so as part of somebody who believes that humans are not distinct from the environment, in fact, take the environment out of the equation, and the whole concept of life is useless.
Great.
So I believe 100% that we need to pay attention to the environment, make it better in order for this life, in this body to also be better. So I do admire the sea. I have days that I find time to find peace and go to the sea and enjoy the breeze and all of that. So constantly I get to the seaside and I see a lot of debris in the sea. And I know that the sea naturally does not generate these debris. It's because people have lost consciousness, they have lost awareness, and they are doing things anyhow in their communities. That is why people will pick their trash when it's raining, they pour in the gutters, and everything ends up at the seaside. So basically, to be able to raise awareness to stop that behavior, I call it a disease actually. So we needed to raise awareness in the communities to bring back patriotism, selflessness, and community spirit. Because once you have the community spirit alive and patriotism riding above personal interest, then clearly sees that even if you are not cleaning, you will not watch for another person to mess up the community. So that's how it started. So one day I got to the seaside as usual. Then I was having a conversation with myself, asking the obvious question, how can I help? Because I believe that is the question every youth should be asking. Forget about everybody, don't complain. Ask yourself all the problems that are popping up in our faces on a daily. How can you help? The moment you begin asking that question, you realize that ideas will begin coming. So one usual day, I got to the seaside as usual, asking myself, how can I help? And there's something done on me, said, go and do Buzstopboyz. So I came home the next morning, told my girlfriend at the time about it. And so as somebody who was...
And then he was your girlfriend?
Yeah. Okay. Now we are married, so yeah. And so me too, because of I've been a civil engineer practically. I don't have certificate for it, but I learned on the job and became champion in it. So out of there, I was in Boko from 2019 to somewhere 2023 January. Came back in February. So during my comeback in Accra, I wanted to help with the little money that I had, because I also understand that money, no matter how rich you are, if you don't put the money to work, it's basically paper stored in bank or in your room. So I wanted to help, and with that idea coming as Buzstopboyz, had reflectors, had some quality boots, gave one to my girlfriend, wore my own, and then we started hitting the streets, trying to raise awareness and at least to begin to raise responsible citizens. So that's basically how it started on the first day. So on the journey, or after the first day, we got in touch with Mr. Safo Nanayao. He was the second person, the third person aside my wife. So he's the third person, myself, my wife, and him. So I explaining to
the one in the studio now?
Yes.
Okay.
Explaining to him what exactly we need to do and why we need to do it. He also believes in it. It's not mandate, it's not by force, but basically this is it. And then we also gave it. So from there, we decided to involve a lot of guys, because we already had a clique or a group of boys. We call ourselves Team Brothers. So we spoke to quite some number, and those who agreed came on board and we started moving. So it was just like that, because I believe ideas, the head itself is like a radio frequency. You can tune into Adom to P to all the stations, but wherever you keep your frequency is the kind of news that you get. If you have an idea and you don't work fast at it, you don't own it. Somebody else can also get a same idea. So that was how fast it happened.
How many years?
Well, July will be exactly 2 years.
Just 2 years. When you sit back and then reflect, how you started all this thing, this initiative with your wife to now and to where you are getting to right now, how do you feel personally?
Well, I feel there's a lot more need to be done, because still, even on my way to this place, I saw public spaces on highways where there are leakage here and there. So there's still more needs to be done. I feel like we keep hammering so that we get a lot more and we get thousands of people rising and coming up for us to do this. Then we are making headway. So it makes me feel like there's still more to be done.
All right, so Director, I want us to go. We actually came across that I feel these people need to be applauded. They need to be celebrated.
driving fuel cars in this modern era? The future of driving is here. AFM Limited, lead distributors of electronic vehicles, have made transportation easy and efficient. Behind you are 3 of their beautiful new brands: Leap Moto, Xiaomi, and Nami. Come with me. Let's explore the fine details. Leap Moto, let me tell you a bit about its interior. Like you can see, the interior is heavenly, right? There's a whole wheel and everything in here is in shades of gray. So we have light and dark gray, very classic. You have 2 screens to your display. This very screen gives you everything about the infotainment. We have its mileage, how far you can take it. On your journey with this electric car, you can switch it into just 3 comfortable modes. It's either the standard for a regular drive, the sports mode for a fast mode, or the economy to manage your battery strength. If you charge it in about 6 hours, it should take you 310 kilometers. Yes, you can go to Kumasi and back. I get that. Leap Moto, your option, your choice if you're a new driver like myself. Let's try the other. Now to my favorite. It's called Geely Xiaomi. Come with me, let's toy in it. All you need is this keyless key. You just make sure it's handy and around. And as the moment you open the car, it starts on its own. Like the interior speaks for itself. Glorious black and white. In its all glory, beautiful wheel, and you have a very lengthy screen. It gives you same 3 modes: standard, economy, and sports for a high or fast rider like myself. Now to my very final brand I like to introduce you to. It's called Nami, Sky Blue Nami. Come with me, let me tell you a bit more about it. Nami, like all the other electronic cars, is beautiful. Its interior is a glamorous 2 shades of gray, light gray and darker gray. With 2 beautiful screens, this one gives you information and entertainment. This gives you the battery strength. Nami can travel 330 kilometers. It can go to Kumasi and back. If you charge it for 6 hours, you're good to go. You can also fast charge it for 3 hours. Beautiful wheel and everything you need. Nami, my preference everywhere. Do you desire an electronic vehicle in Ghana? We have various payment options, including hire purchase. Contact KFM Limited with the numbers below the screen. We have you sorted.
Medogbena mi Ghana duko du ajakple ho duko kata. Mi echo nyanyu adevena mi cho Talent Microfinance Limited Gajradopa. Mi wona susu savings, adishie, school buafo, cashback, ple bubwa okata. Nenyebe egajom de mi agbo la letie tomegbeko ateun aho gadodo. Kenenyebe egajom vivi la nenyebe o gahia ola ateun ava de ogai kene hia fa.
Tanenyebe mi foncho mi afa jomu yo kenye mi afa gadodo nyawa. Business loan elemiashi, church finance elemiashi, salary loan elemiashi, eye bubo li kenye personal loan. Nenyebe mi foncho business loan a enye gadodo ikemie nana asichalao. Nenyebe washigba keke alum eleswe we have talent. Mi pekpegede nwo nenye washigba lesua ne woge wo kekegedeji to talent pomonu ome nenye be mi fonchu mi afa salary loan a enye gado mo mi ke mi vuna mi afa jirudu dola nke ga nyo he ya va talent wo pay slip pe bank statement ye kwenye nwi hia o na kokko ho salary loan le rate mi to keke akeji church financier personal loan va nenye habobo masoli hama eji fufofo sankuo jitao olila ashibobwe kekeake mie flegeno na no hem vi choji nto jinwade vare kwereka mon popo kai ganyu he ya talent kuna poke ya ole chagbagba na do tare talent bena wo gado mo wa anobo buenami akpenami
etibe ya nyafi ke talent la
talent microfinance jengo amegan shipe ape Letina tejipo hotame.
Miape kapomoyenya 050-129-1298. Hello 050-128-9119. Talent. Oga kwamanu banta.
Talent Microfinance, your channel of wealth.
Yo, I'm for ene yamama kwaba edeba KFM musical shopper. The tosumi no ufri eye kumase mekom dadam ho no esane edeba adumuno sabre no udu eye Sambra Junction Sambra Hotel kwanta no so pe na shop no ene Sambra Hotel ene di nhwa animu udi free Sambra Hotel a wo sane ediko nankane en Hagan ho no ane oho ana KFM musical shop. The tosumi no ya bie ne foforo na de eka ne se emfidie papa etimiche de wode ya sorry de wode goro agoro ahodo duma de bia wode obehia eye mfidie mechira musical instrument bia no eye KFM ento wo se Ghana muntie Asanteman muntie eye KFM musical shop ana sabre ya bie ne foforo mu no chan ewo